Coming up on SLU News 22.
St. Louis celebrates the Cardinals' victory.
A spooky Halloween dinner.
Thousands make a difference.
Plus national news and weather live from the Bush Student Center. This is SLU News 22. Good evening, I'm Katrina Canyon.
And I'm Lucy Glazer.
Thank you for joining us this evening. This past Saturday was Make a Difference Day here at SLU. This year, yet another participation record was broken with over 3,000 participants representing over 160 organizations and residence halls. Volunteers helped at more than 140 different sites across the St. Louis area. SLU Make a Difference Day had been recognized as one of the largest collegiate days of service in the entire country. The day kicked off with a keynote speech by Campus Kitchen founder Robert Egger.
This weekend, SLU was host to Campus Kitchen's project's 10th anniversary and the annual Campus Kitchen Conference. This conference, entitled Moving in Generation, Social, Environmental, Economic Empowerment, was held Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The conference featured a keynote address from Campus Kitchen founder Robert Egger, who also spoke Saturday morning at the Make a Difference Day kickoff. Egger founded Campus Kitchen 10 years ago in Washington, D.C., after noticing how much food restaurants and kitchens throw away every day. St. Louis University was the first campus to adopt the program, which is now spread to over 30 college campuses across the country.
William S. Sly, M.D., a professor of biochemistry and molecular biology at SLU, will be awarded the Association of American Medical Colleges 2011 Award for Distinguished Research in the Biomedical Sciences. This award recognizes one recipient each year for their outstanding clinical or laboratory research by a medical school faculty member related to health and disease that has contributed to the substance of medicine. The award will be presented at the association annual meeting on November 5th.
Did you notice something new over at Fuse Cafeteria? Over fall break, new colors and decor were added to the dining hall. There were also some new tasty treats, including milkshakes, paninis, and wings added to the Fuse menu. Fuse is open until 2 a.m. Sunday through Thursday and midnight Friday and Saturday.
David is here now with our weather forecast. David, it was kind of on the cold side this weekend. Should we expect warmer weather?
It was a little bit on the chilly side this weekend, and even today, even though we saw a high temperature around 64 degrees, right now it's 60 degrees outside. We do have some warmer weather in the future, but it's going to be chilly overnight tonight as these temperatures around 60 degrees are going to continue to fall through the 50s and into the 40s overnight tonight. Currently it is 63 degrees out at Lambert, 63 in Chesterfield, and 59 degrees at Scott Air Force Base. We are looking at some cloudy skies across the area as a storm system is passing by to our north. There are a few scattered showers out there, especially to the north and northeast of St. Louis. So we can't rule out an isolated shower overnight tonight, but I do have a feeling that most of us will stay dry as we head on down to a low of 42 degrees for tomorrow morning. Now, I said we do have a warm-up in store later this week. We'll talk about that, as well as a chance for rain in our full forecast coming up in a little bit.
Thanks, David.
The SLU Art Fair Committee is seeking artists for the first SLU Art Fair, where creativity touches lives. Entrants will have the opportunity to show and sell their art with 10% of the proceeds donated to a traveling exhibit entitled Allies for Inclusion, the Ability Exhibit. The exhibit is designed to promote the inclusion of people with disabilities. For more information, contact Ellen Harmon at eharmon2@slu.edu.
If you're an upperclassman who has demonstrated exceptional involvement in service at SLU, then you should apply to get a scholarship from the Student Government Association. Each year, the SGA has the opportunity to award 5 $1,000 scholarships to undergraduate upperclassmen. To apply, you need to have at least a 3.0 cumulative GPA, have completed at least 60 credit hours, completed at least 2 semesters at SLU, and are not receiving a full tuition scholarship. The application can be found in the latest SGA mailer, as well as sluconnection.com. Once you have included a resume, 2 current letters of recommendation, and a short essay, the completed applications must be submitted to Cheryl Kaufman in the Student Involvement Center in the BS Suite 319 by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, November 1st. If you have any questions, email the SGA Academic Vice President, Patrick Grillat, at sga@slu.edu.
Billiken Dining has a big Halloween party planned for Monday, October 31st. Billiken Dining will be serving a Halloween buffet during dinner time. Head to the Reinert or Griesdeck dining halls during dinner time to partake in spooking Halloween food and decorations. The buffet menu items will include hot mulled apple cider, potato ghosts, baked apples, popcorn balls, and spooky ham and pineapple pizzas. A full menu can be found on SLU Connection at sluconnection.com.
This week, Alpha Epsilon Delta, Active Minds, the Public Health Undergraduate Student Association, Unite for Sight, and the National Society of Collegiate Scholars will be hosting the Peace of Mind Week. The purpose is to promote student wellness and mental health through a variety of events open to all SLU students and faculty. Events include the opportunity to play with puppies in the quad on Monday, free Tai Chi on Tuesday, and yoga on Wednesday at the Rec Center, Zumba, a Scrubs marathon, and a City Museum trip on Friday. More information can be found on SLU Connection.
On Wednesday, November the 2nd, the Great Issues Committee and First Year Experience will host a speech by Julie Otsuka, the author of the freshman summer reading book, When the Emperor Was Divine. Otsuka's speech will take place at 6:30 in the Wool Ballroom of the BSC. A book signing will follow her speech. When the Emperor Was Divine presents an intimate portrait of the Japanese internment camps during World War II. SLU-TV will be interviewing her, and you can see that interview next week on Mondays in Midtown.
Was Shakespeare a fraud? That's the premise of Roland Emmerich's new film, Anonymous, but some experts disagree. The Department of English and Guests, including filmmaker Billy Shabar, will discuss Shakespearean authorship, conspiracy theory, and the status of expert knowledge in public discourse from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, November 15th in Il Montecero. Refreshments will follow.
The city of St. Louis celebrated the Cardinals' World Series victory today with a parade downtown. The Cardinals beat the Rangers to take the series during Game 7 on Friday. Game 7 was watched before 25.4 million viewers, making it the most watched game since 2004. We'll have more on the Cardinals' victory later in sports.
The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reports that federal health investigators are in St. Louis researching the source of an E. coli outbreak that has sickened at least 23 people across the area. Health officials report that the source of the E. coli is foodborne and that signs show a local grocery store chain may be involved in the outbreak. The 3 people reported recently eating at a Schnuck salad bar in downtown St. Louis, Ladue, and High Ridge.
When we come back, we'll have a closer look at national and international news.
Position on abortion, Herman Cain told CBS Face the Nation, "I am pro-life from conception, period." Cain does not support abortion under any circumstances, including instances of rape and incest. Kane's position on abortion came to question in recent weeks when he suggested that in an interview on CNN that decisions about abortion should be lifted to families, not the government.
3 died in a grain elevator explosion on Saturday at Bartlett Grain in Atchison, Kansas. The tremendous blast also left 3 people unaccounted for and 2 hospitalized with burn injuries. Authorities are currently investigating the blast, which was felt 3 miles away. Stored grain can generate enough toxic gases to cause such an explosion. A spokesperson for Bartlett Grain could not be reached for comment.
Millions of people from Maine to Maryland were without power as an unseasonably early nor'easter dumped heavy, wet snow over the weekend on a region more used to marveling at fall colors in October than shoveling snow. The snow stopped falling in New England Sunday, but Halloween will likely come and go before many more than 3 million without electricity see it restored. Officials warned. The storm smashed record snowfall totals for October and worsened as it moved north. Communities in western Massachusetts were among the hardest hit. Snowfall totals topped 27 inches in Plainfield, and nearby Windsor had gotten 26 inches by early Sunday.
The storm was blamed for at least 3 deaths, and states of emergency were declared in New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and parts of New York. Roads, rails, and airline flights were knocked out, and passengers on a JetBlue flight were stuck on a plane in Hartford, Connecticut for more than 7 hours. Compounding the storm's impact were still leafy trees, which gave the snow something to hang on to, and that put tremendous weight on branches, said National Weather Service spokesman Chris Vaccaro. That led to limbs breaking off and contributed to widespread outages. It may take up to 6 or 7 days for power to be restored to a majority of customers.
Heavy monsoon rains in Thailand are causing the worst floods in decades and displacing thousands from their homes. The Thai government had opened more than 1,700 shelters across the country, which now house 113,000 people whose homes have been devastated by the floods. More than 370 people had died, and the Thai finance ministry said that overall damage from the floods could exceed $6 billion.
Syria will begin writing a new constitution Monday. Earlier in the month, in an attempt to defuse Syrian protests, President Bashar al-Assad announced the formation of a committee to draft a new constitution. The concession has not quelled protests. Instead, this weekend has been one particularly intense violence. Al Jazeera reports that clashes this weekend have killed 31 civilians and 30 soldiers. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad warned that any actions by the West could worsen the situation. Protests against Assad's rule have been going on since mid-March. The Arab League will meet on November 2nd to decide what action should be taken in Syria. More than 3,000 people have been killed since the start of the Syrian uprising.
Israel-Palestinian violence rang throughout Gaza over the weekend as a Gaza Strip militant group barraged Israel with rockets. The airstrikes started on Saturday against Israel, with Israel launching counterstrikes well into the morning on Sunday. It is the worst violence that the area has seen in months. Egypt is in the process of negotiating truce efforts between the parties, and earlier today, the Islamic Jihad group said that it was ready to halt its attacks if Israel was ready to halt its attacks. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said that he did not want things to deteriorate, but that Israel would defend itself as necessary.
Citizens in Kyrgyzstan went to the polls today in its first democratic presidential election since the fall of the Soviet Union. This vote follows last year's ethnic clashes which ousted President Kurmanbek Bakayev. Citizens will be choosing between 16 candidates. Current Prime Minister Almazbek Atambayev is favored to win. Coming up next, David has your extended forecast.
Well, we have some interesting trends in the forecast coming up to talk about. We do have a roller coaster ride as far as temperatures go, with a warm-up coming in the very first half of this week, and then a big cool down as we head towards the end. Plus, we have some more rain chances to talk about. So we'll talk about that right after the break.
Welcome back. Chief Meteorologist David Keller is with us now. Hi, David.
Hey, Katrina, we had some pretty nice weather this weekend, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it was kind of cold.
It was a little on the cool side, I'll agree to that, but we do have some warmer weather coming in for the next couple of days. We did see some seasonably warm weather this afternoon with high temperatures right around 64 degrees here at SLU, or out at Lambert. Here at SLU we saw a high temperature around 61 degrees, and that is where we should be for this time of year, and nowhere near that record of 90 degrees set back in 1950. And look at that record low. That just gives you an idea of how cold it can get this time of year. 21 degrees back in 1925. So it can get very chilly this time of year. We're not looking for any record lows or record highs, as temperatures will remain fairly seasonal over the next several days. But we are looking for a warm-up as we head through Monday and Tuesday. This afternoon we did make it into the middle 60s across Missouri and Illinois. Off to our south it was warmer, with high temperatures in the 70s and even some 80s across South Texas. This evening temperatures have started to cool off again, and right now here in St. Louis we are sitting around 57 degrees out at Lambert International. We are watching a storm system that is passing by to our north that brought us some clouds this afternoon, and the stripe of clouds, as well as a few showers across parts of northeast Missouri into Illinois. There's a low pressure system centered right over Iowa and Minnesota, and that's dragging through a cold front that will bring some cooler temperatures as we head through Monday, shoving the warmer weather we saw today off to the south and east and allowing some cooler temperatures to filter in from the north and west. But that'll only stick around for a day as a new low pressure system builds off to our south and west. That means we'll see increasing southerly winds on Tuesday and Wednesday. That means high temperatures possibly into the 70s for Tuesday. But by the time we get to Wednesday, this storm will be pushing across the central plains, and that means an increase in the chance for showers and even some thunderstorms as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday. So when you wake up, head out to your 8 a.m. classes on your Monday morning. 44 degrees on the cool side, mostly sunny. You probably want a jacket, as that is just a touch cool. By the time we get to noontime, warming up to 56 degrees with that full sunshine. Light winds out of the west around 9 miles per hour. And we'll see a high on Monday around 61 degrees. Now as we head through the next 7 days, we are watching that warm up for Tuesday with a high temperature of 71 degrees, 69 on Wednesday ahead of that storm system. That drops our temperatures back to 57 for Thursday. Warming back up for Friday and Saturday. I have an even more significant storm system for next weekend that could bring us some very strong thunderstorms and even the chance of a snowflake. So we are seeing the seasons begin to change here as we transition from spring or from summer to fall and now into winter. With that chance for snow by next weekend.
Oh, good.
I'm looking forward to that beautiful fall weather on Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday certainly does look like the pick day of the week before that rain comes in from Monday or for Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay. When we come back, a look at entertainment news and technology news. iPhone 4S users have reported a problem with short battery life on their new phones. The problem seems to be a flaw in the Apple's location services system in its new iOS 5 software. Users have found that the setting time zone feature of the system services within the location services feature seem to be operating continuously, and this is causing a drain on the battery. In order to fix this problem, it has been recommended that users switch off the setting time zone function. This means that the iPhone will no longer set its own time zone, but it will decrease the constant demand on the phone battery.
Pop singer Adele has been forced to cancel all of her tour dates and appearances for the remainder of the year in order to undergo throat surgery. The British star is currently suffering a vocal cord hemorrhage and needs to undergo surgery to alleviate these issues. So, how about them Cardinals?
How about those Cardinals? They had a pretty fantastic World Series over the past week or so. I mean, it was. Did you guys watch many of the games?
I did. I watched Game 7, actually, at least the last 2 innings, and I watched Game 6, and it was so exciting. My husband was saying, it's over, I give up. And I said, we never give up. And the minute I said that, we got those 2 hits in, and the game turned around for us.
It was a pretty incredible series, especially in the first few games when Pujols got the 3 home runs in one game, tying the record with Babe Ruth, as well as another player from several years ago. So that was pretty incredible to see those 3 home runs in one game. And then Game 6, probably one of the most exciting World Series games we've seen in quite some time, with them tying it up in the 9th inning and having to go into the 10th and tying it up again. And then finally, in the 11th inning, David Freese hitting that home run, giving us the win. And David Freese obviously is the MVP for the Cardinals with so many saves with his. He hit a double and a triple in that home run.
He was just amazing.
He did amazing job in these games. So.
And a St. Louis native.
Yes, from St. Louis. So that is pretty cool to have a St. Louis native be the MVP for the Cardinals World Series. So pretty neat stuff there.
It is.
I mean, I personally didn't watch it, but I mean, Paper Thin Walls of Grease, definitely heard all the screamings. I pretty much was there for the whole time.
There's some big celebrations going on. Of course, they had the big parade downtown this evening, starting on Market Street at Union Station and going all the way to Busch Stadium. So that's pretty cool. Of course, we'll be talking about this for quite some time.
Decades.
And I'm guessing that party is going to go well into the morning.
I'm sure. Well, I mean, I saw people still partying Saturday morning after the win Friday night. They were still swarming around the stadium early Saturday morning.
I'm sure they're still there now.
I'm sure. And it's pretty nice weather out there for them, too. It's a little on the cool side, but it's not cold, so that's nice. Right around 60 degrees to this evening.
Well, that's killing the California girl in me, I have to say.
I'm sure their tents are keeping it warm.
All right. Well, we do have some nice weather tonight, and it's going to get nice. It will stay nice tomorrow as well, with a high temperature around 61 degrees, 71 on Tuesday. Well, we do have Halloween tomorrow night. Forgot to mention that. So if you're going out trick-or-treating, I don't know. Maybe you are. Maybe not.
Still the
if you are, it's going to be a little bit chilly, but not too terribly cold, with a low of 42 Monday night into Tuesday. 71 Tuesday, 69 Wednesday. A good chance for rain Wednesday into Thursday, bringing our temperatures back into the 50s. And then we're watching next weekend for that big storm system, possibly bringing some thunderstorms and some snow.
Rain boots?
So we'll see what's going on there when we have our news next week.
All right, great. Well, that's our show for the night. Thank you for watching.
And don't forget, you can always get the latest news online at SLU-TV.slu.edu. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Since next week, thank you for joining us tonight.